want to tell you something that took me a long time to actually believe. Your emotions are not the problem. Not your anxiety, not your grief, not the anger you've been sitting on for years, not the sadness that shows up at inconvenient times. None of it is the problem. And if that sounds like something you've heard before, wait just a second, because what I mean is probably not what you think. Most of us were taught not to feel what we feel, to manage our emotions, display them at appropriate times, but not too much. Don't make other people uncomfortable by the size of what you feel and what your emotions are. So we learned to manage it. We got really, really good at it. We went to therapy. We took drugs, medication, drank wine, alcohol, and some of us even became obsessive over things. All of it in an attempt to deal with the feelings, or at least making them quieter. I want to put a different spin on it. What if your emotions were the signal that something needs your attention? Very simply. What if anxiety is telling you and your body to be more aware? What if the sadness and depression is an unexpressed hurt that you experienced as a child that has been silenced? What if the anger you've been sitting on for 20 years is not something that's wrong with you, but something in you that's been trying to get your attention? I spent a long time treating my feelings like they didn't matter. I couldn't trust them, because I couldn't allow myself to be too emotional. When I was going through a difficult time in my life, my instinct was always the same. Push through. Don't let them see you mad. Don't let them see you angry. Put on that happy face just to keep everyone else comfortable. People depended on me. I didn't have time to fall apart. I was the strong one. I was the one that was in control. I held it all together. I got so good at functioning and carrying this enormous amount of weight that I never, ever put down. The problem with that is my body kept score. I overrode it for a while, but at some point, your body doesn't keep quiet anymore. For me, that message came through loud and clear. My body was exhausted. My soul was exhausted. And it was an exhaustion that sleep couldn't fix. I remember thinking to myself that I have not actually listened to me in a long time. And the moment I started, everything shifted. That moment was when I lost my eyesight and everything was blurry. I couldn't read text. I couldn't drive. I couldn't work. And I know that that was a sign for me that I needed to make a change. And it was during that time that I listened to Change Your Mind by R.J. Spina. I know I talk about this particular book, which I've also linked in the description, and it changed how I looked at myself and how I heard myself. In that book, he talks about questions that you ask yourself, and it's about getting to the why of things. And it goes really, really deep in terms of, why do you do things? Where did this programming come from? And there was one question that really kind of blew my mind, and it was my own question. And it was, he said, the whole premise of questioning yourself is that you question every single thing that you do. Like if you get up and you brush your hair first thing in the morning, it's like, why do you do that? And so for me, it was drinking coffee. I drank coffee all of my life. And so when I read his book and I asked myself the question, why do I drink coffee? And I was so surprised at the answer. And it came back to, well, my mother gave me coffee when I was little. And I really got down to, did I even like coffee? And I kept asking the question, well, why do you drink it? Well, why do you put cream in it? Why do you put sugar in it? And the bottom line, is that I didn't like coffee. I didn't like the taste of coffee. And do you know how many years I have been drinking coffee? But it was through the questioning that I got rid of the programming that I have had for years from someone else that really got me in touch with who I am and what is good for me. So I spent 2 weeks getting to what makes me happy. And it was through that book that helped me get to me. It was the start for me. It was absolutely liberating. Check out that book. It really will change your mind. So I digressed from what the real message of this video is, and that is all about your emotions and how you don't want to push those emotions down. So I've got a question for you this week. What emotion have you been ignoring or pushing down and not really listening to? You probably already know the answer. And it's the one that keeps coming back no matter how many times you deal with it. It's that one emotion that shows up at the most inconvenient time. The one you have a whole strategy to keep quiet. What would happen if you just ask, what is it trying to tell me? What am I not listening to? If this is resonating with you, subscribe. Episode 3 is about something that trips up almost every woman that I've talked to. The difference between fear and intuition. And it's worth watching. And if you haven't grabbed my free download yet, the 10 questions to ask yourself before your next chapter, it's linked below in the description. Take your time with it, and I'll see you in the next video.